Every city has its share of ghost stories. In Greystone, it was Bus Route 13. The bus ran a lonely route from the outskirts of town into the heart of the city, passing through industrial ruins, fog-covered woods, and abandoned neighborhoods. It operated only at night. Last trip at 11:55 p.m. People called it the last ride. Nobody wanted to drive it. Nobody wanted to be a passenger. But it stayed on the schedule, mysteriously fully staffed by the transit company despite multiple resignations. And when questioned, the company always gave the same response. It's just a rumor. But something always went wrong on that route. 2. The new driver, Daniel Owens, was 32, recently divorced, and new to Greystone Transit. He needed the job, and when offered the night shift, he didn't hesitate, not until he saw the assignment, Route 13. "Bad luck number, huh?" he joked to the dispatcher. The man didn't laugh. "Just stick to the schedule, no matter what. Don't stop unless someone pulls the cord." Daniel blinked. "That's specific." The dispatcher didn't look up. "And don't talk to the passengers, just drive." Daniel took the keys, shrugging it off. Rules were rules. At 11:50 p.m., he climbed aboard the old bus, number 7 on 13. The engine rattled like a dying animal, and the interior smelled faintly of rust and mold. A strange fog clung to the floor as if the bus breathed mist. Still, a job was a job. He started the engine. The digital screen above flickered. Route 13, last ride. 3. The passengers. At the first stop, 2 passengers boarded. Both wore long coats, faces obscured by shadow. Daniel greeted them. "Evening." Neither replied. He frowned, but kept driving. Next stop, a man with a suitcase climbed on. His hands trembled. He dropped a crumpled ticket on the fare box and hurried to the back without a word. Then an old woman with a pale face and glassy eyes. Then a little girl, barefoot, in a white dress. She didn't speak. She just looked at Daniel, tilted her head, and smiled. Unnerved, he focused on the road. Fog was thick now, swallowing the headlights. Every few minutes, more passengers boarded. None speaking, none reacting. The bus filled with silence and cold. Daniel noticed something else. No one ever got off. 4. The road changes. He had driven this route in the day during training, but now nothing looked familiar. Trees grew thicker, leaning over the road like they were watching. Street lights flickered and buzzed. At one point, Daniel could swear they passed the same rusted gas station 3 times, even though he hadn't turned around. Worse, the clock on the dash was stuck at 12:06 a.m. Then, at stop 13, a figure appeared. Not a passenger, but a man in a transit uniform standing outside in the middle of the road, waving his arms. Daniel slowed. "Don't stop," a voice whispered behind him. He turned. It was the little girl. Her smile was gone. "If you stop, you'll take his place." Chills ran down his spine. The man outside pounded on the windshield, screaming, but Daniel couldn't hear the words. Blood ran down the man's face, and his eyes were empty sockets. Daniel hit the gas. The passengers behind him didn't move. 5. The tapes. When Daniel returned to the depot at dawn, the bus was empty. He rushed to the office, demanding answers. The dispatcher looked at him, expression unreadable. "You saw them, didn't you?" Daniel nodded slowly. "What the hell is this route?" The dispatcher led him to a back room, a locked storage unit labeled Archive 13. Inside were dusty boxes, old VHS tapes, photos, and personnel files. Everyone who's driven that route sees them. Some don't come back. Some change. Daniel stared at the tapes, each one labeled by year. 1991, missing 1998, suicide 2003, mental institution. What do they want? Daniel whispered. The dispatcher hesitated. They're stuck. The first crash was in 1973, bus 7 of 13, no survivors, but the bus was never found. Some say it's still running that route every night, picking up more. Daniel swallowed. Then why keep the route open? Because if we don't, the dispatcher said quietly, they come looking. 6. The second night. Daniel should have quit. He almost did. But something pulled at him, a strange compulsion. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't eat. At 11:30 p.m., he found himself back at the depot, keys in hand. Bus 7 of 13 waited for him. The route began again. The same fog, the same silent passengers, the same little girl. Only this time, she sat in the front seat. "Do you remember me now?" she asked. Daniel blinked. "What?" She reached out and touched his hand. His skin turned cold. Images flooded his mind. A school bus, fire, screaming children, a man yelling for help. "You were there," she said. "No, I wasn't." He stammered